I do believe that the day you see value in yourself, that you will flip yourself and your world around to create increasing value both in yourself, and that will result in anything that you set your heart to do. This is the reason why we do these videos. We've been discussing the good news to the poor. Jesus said that is what he came to bring. My name is Jerai Owusi. We discussed saying that the argument that the men of old, men that worked on science and technology, men on whose work, on whose technologies, on whose thoughts, express works, the civilization of today were platformed on, the argument that they presented to the people was that God was with them. And we tried to understand how God was with these people. We found out that the revealed revelation of God in the text was that a voice came working in the garden. Voice sound travels in mechanical wave, and mechanical wave is a disruption that I create at some point, at some place, an energy that I create at some place, and it is transported from one place to another through a medium. That when the voice of God comes to you, what would happen is that images of possibilities are created, images of possible things that could become are created in your mind when that voice comes to you. And the next is this: some would have images and some would have voice, and some will have both at the same time. This inspires inspiration in the heart of anyone that would receive it. Abraham, Isaac, Samson, all these men were inspired. How? Through the same thing that is happening to you. The dreams that you're having, the recurring thoughts that is pervading your mind, that is huge in your mind, the flashes that come to you, God reaching out to man. We discussed Abraham. And then today we said we'll move on and we're discussing Isaac. Now, there is something I've noticed. It's also happened to me. I've heard stories about it happening to a couple of my friends. We tend to do the same things the people before us, our fathers, did without asking questions why they did them. Now, perhaps Isaac did not ask his father questions. Why did you leave the clan, the family's land, the forefathers' lands, or his grandparents' place? Why did you leave? Now, Isaac was in a scenario where there was famine in the land, there was drought, and because he heard or he understood that his father left where he was at some point, he thought the next decision for him was to leave where he is right now, and he wanted to leave. And God, through images, through him hearing something, through a dream, through flashes, kept prevailing in his mind, saying, Isaac, do not leave where you're at. Your father was into animal farming. I want you to invest in crop farming and I will bless you. I need you to dig up the wells your father dug. Isaac held on, worked on that inspired thought, inspired words, life-giving thoughts. That's what they are. And guess what? God, the Bible said, and God blessed him. The reason for it is that he held on to these inspired thoughts from God, inspired images from God. When it came to Jacob, what did Jacob tell us? He said that in the early hours of the morning, that the angel of the Lord would teach him how to make spotted animal. You know about it. In the early hours of the morning, in between sleep, most of us, some of us, have this dream that come to us. That's what Jacob was describing to us. You're having them perhaps. They are God reaching out to you, telling you some things are possible, that you can step up and do great things with your life. Take it today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.